Good evening, all of you. And I'm sorry that I'm taking a late video class after 2 to 3 days. As I had to go on some work, I cannot able to concentrate properly on. So from today onwards, I'm going to start the video class. Okay. Now, today I'm going to deal with business law. Okay, that is separate subject. Okay, I started with accounts and after that I started this costing. Now I am going to deal with the business law. And simultaneously the accounts class, costing class, and the business laws class also they will. Now, first of all, before going to law, we have to understand what is the meaning and importance. What is the meaning and importance and what are the features that we come across? What is the actual definition of it, of law, all these things. Okay, and before going to this, I want to tell you about this law, business law. Previously, this business law, it was like a mercantile law, and after that, the business law was separated and the mercantile law was separated. So, what is the difference between this business law and mercantile? Business law it completely deals with the general law that we have to learn, and mercantile law only relates to the mercantilizable activities. That is nothing but the companies as well as all the things that we will come. Okay, and before going to that, it is always better for us to know the definition of law, and after that, what are the various characteristics that we come across in this business law, and what are the different types of law that we come across, all these things that we'll come across, and what are the subject, I mean, the topics that we will come across. In this business law, we'll come across the general law, general law that everyone they must know, and after that, you'll come across the acts, the various acts. Okay, all these things you have to learn. Then only we can say that the business law is completed. And when you go for this business law, one thing you have to observe is okay, don't try to mug up. Okay, whether you follow any type of book regarding business law, the main thing that I want to tell you all the people is don't try to mug up, don't try to by heart because okay, this law is completely a dry subject. When you want to do mug up or when you want to by heart that and when you want to reproduce that in your examinations, okay, up to the portion whatever you just okay by hearted or mug up, that thing only you can able to write. After that, you cannot be in a position to write. So what my sincere suggestion is, what my sincere advice is, when you are going for business law, try to understand the concept of the business law. Try to understand the concept of the business law. And when you can able to understand the concept of the business law, you can write in your own words. Okay, you can write in your own words. Okay, because when you open the book, it seems that everything will be known to you. But when we close the book and when we want to recollect, okay, you won't come across the things. Okay, you'll see a blank face. Okay, so like this, you have to be very precautious when you are going for this business law. And there are two more subjects where you should not go and mug up. That is economics, one subject, and second one is banking theory and practice. These are the two subjects, okay, where you should not mug up or by heart. You have to understand the concepts, and then after understanding the concepts, you have to produce in your own words, okay, the concepts. And people, they won't prefer to go for the grammatical mistakes, whatever you may be, whatever you may come across, because they will look after whether this person can able to understand the concept or not. That thing only they will look after, but they won't give much importance for grammatical mistakes. Okay, generally human beings, they'll go for grammatical mistakes. At one time or other times they'll go for grammatical mistakes. But thing is, here you have to understand about the concept, and you have to keep that in your mind, and then you have to reproduce the thing whatever you come across. And in business law, one thing I have want to tell you to all the people who are learning, okay, who are learning, is that answer to the question. Answer to the question. That is, there should not be any necessity for you to go for pre-history or post-history. Okay, answer to the question. Whatever it may be, the question that you are given, you have to write answer for that only. There is no necessity for you to go for pre-introduction or post-introduction. That is prehistory or post-history. That thing you have to keep in your mind when you go for this business law. Okay, what is the definition of law? The absurd uniformity of the facts that we come across is nothing but law. Okay, the absurd uniformity of facts that we come across in our daily life, it is nothing but law. Don't be of that opinion that law came from sky or heaven. Whatever it may be, the observed uniformity of facts that we come across in our general life, that is nothing but law. For example, the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. Whether you stay in India or whether you stay in America, whatever it may be the country, the sun rises in the east only. That is nothing but observed uniformity of the fact. And then the next one is water flows downwards. Water flows downwards. Wherever it may be, whether you take India or whether you take your own native place or whether you take a foreign country, whatever may be and wherever it may be, water flows downwards only. That is nothing but an observed uniformity of fact. So when you come across this observed uniformity of facts, whatever you come across, okay, that constitutes nothing but the law. This is the definition that we come across. And this is one way of expressing. The other way of expressing is whatever it may be the rights and obligations of the people, when they are taken into account and when they are fulfilled, it is nothing but law. Because constitution, the Indian constitution, it had given some powers and rights to all the people, to the citizens of India. When you are having the rights, everyone there will have the right, everyone will have the privilege, right to talk, right to write, right to speak. All these things are nothing but the rights given by constitution. So whatever it may be, the rules and regulations that a government will impose on the people for the benefit of the people is nothing but a law. Don't be of that opinion that someone they have brought this. The rules and regulations framed by the government for the benefit of the public, for the benefit of the people, in an organized manner, it is nothing but law. And sir, you may ask me, what is government, sir? Government is nothing but we only. We people. We frame or we may make this government. And we are keeping some representative to implement the various things, various activities that we have. Okay, don't be of that opinion that government is separate and we are separate. We people, we have framed this government for the benefit of us, for the welfare of us. So, whatever it may be, the rules and regulations framed by the government for the benefit of the people, Okay, for the benefit of the people, it is nothing but the law. Okay, so this is about this thing, and I'll explain that. Okay, by going through this. The word law is defined as an observed uniformity to nature. An observed uniformity to nature in its broader sense. The natural observations like sun rising in the east, water flowing downwards, all these things are nothing but the observed uniformity to nature. Okay. Anything thrown to the sky coming down, the law of gravity, all these things. The taste of a thing getting reduced as it is going on, consumed, the law of diminishing marginality, etc., can be cited as examples for the meaning of law. But it is having another simple meaning in narrower sense, in which law is understood as the rules and regulations framed by the government of a country to regulate the activities of people in the country. It is nothing but the law. In the study of business law, the word law is taken in its narrow sense only. We should not take into account the broader sense. The narrow sense. What is the narrow sense? The narrow sense is nothing but the rules and regulations framed by the government of a country to regulate the activities of the people of the country. It is nothing but the narrow sense. Okay, now what are the definitions of law? Lord Salmond, an expert in law, has defined the law as a body of principles recognized by the state and applied in the administration of justice. A body of principles recognized by the state where you are staying, in what state you are staying. Okay, that state, when it when it is having a body of principles recognized by the state and applied in the administration of law, in the administration of justice. Justice means the law, nothing but. Okay. The the main the following features are: first one, a body of principles developed to regulate the activities of people. When we are having some principles, then only according to the principles we will go. No one should violate the principles or the rules and regulations because they are made for us. A body of principles developed to regulate the activities of people. When you ask me, sir, when you are not having this, what will happen? The people they will behave in different ways. You cannot stop them. You cannot stop them. So they must have some principles, and all the people they have to oblige the principles. Second one is recognized by the government of the country or parliament. Recognized by the government of the country or parliament. That is the second feature. Third one is applied in the administration while while ruling the country. Okay, when you are going to administer, okay, your office you will have some rules and regulations. In the same way, when you want to administrate the whole country, you must have some rules and regulations or the principles. So, applied in the administration while ruling the country, backed by the governmental power for implementing the rules of law, backed by the government. There must be a government. For every state, there will be a government. In the same way, we are having the central government. So, state government, they have to recognize and they have to see that no human activity should go or should violate this. So, backed by the governmental power for implementing the rules of law, giving justice to everyone by protecting their fundamental rights, giving justice to everyone, whether it may be a prince or whether it may be a pauper. Okay, giving justice to everyone by protecting their fundamental rights. Okay, according to constitution, we are having some rights, and that thing they have to be. It should be made unquestionable so that no one can challenge its authority. So, whatever it may be, the law that we are coming across, that we are making, it should not be questionable by anyone. It should not be questionable. Okay, it is. It should be made unquestionable so that no one can challenge its authority. No one will have an authority to challenge that. It should be made unquestionable. Whether you may be a chairman or whether you may be an ordinary person, they have to oblige. They have to oblige. They must be binded by the rules and regulations, or by the simply by the law. Now we are going for the branches of law. Okay, how many branches of law we are having? Law can be broadly classified into two branches, namely national law and international law. National law and international law. What is national law? The national law is nothing but the law that prevails within a country or within a nation. It won't take into account the other nations. Where different nations they will have different laws, different rules and regulations. So whatever it may be, the rules and regulations that we come across in a nation, we'll call that thing as national law. The national law can be reclassified into two types, namely civil law and criminal law. Okay, civil law and criminal law. These are nothing but the subdivisions of national law. Civil law and criminal law. The civil law includes constitutional, administrative, personal, property laws, and business laws, as well as industrial laws. When we go for civil law, all these things they will come across. We will come across constitutional, administrative, personal, property laws, and business laws, as well as industrial laws. Because in that nation we will come across some industries. So that industrial laws also they will become part and parcel of the civil law. Now, okay, one by one. National law. The law passed by the government of a country to regulate various activities of the people in the country is known as national law. This law applies to all citizens of the country. So these are the various things that we come across. International law. Like how we are having some rules and regulations. In other countries also they will have some rules and regulations. And you may ask me, so whether we have to understand, yes, you have to understand the international laws. Okay, you must have a knowledge of those international laws and what country, what type of law they are following. What country, what type of law they are following. We are having some rules and regulations, and we are having some laws with us. In the same way, other countries also they will have. At this context, I am going to give. Okay, when you are taking into account our country, okay, take into account our country, we can split anywhere. We can split anywhere, and no one is going to object us. We can use, use the roads, okay, by passing urine or anything. But in other countries, it is not like that. In some of the Western countries, when you split on the road, you will be punished. You will be behind the bars. So some rules and restrictions are there. You must know the rules and regulations of that country. Okay, sir, whether we have to learn them compulsory, it is not that much compulsory, but it is always better if you know them. What I mean to say is, if you know them, it is better. Because if it happens for you to go over there, then you can able to understand and you can able to follow the rules and regulations. Okay, international law. The principles of law approved by various nations of the world to regulate the relations between them are known as principles of international law. the principles of law approved by various nations of the world to regulate the relations between them, okay, are known as principles of international law. You must know the law of that country. Not only that, international law it also helps us in keeping the relationships between country to country. When there is no international law, we don't have any relationships with other countries. Okay, your country is separate and their country is separate. Like that, people they will be diversified. It is not the question of diversity. It is the question of integrity that you must follow. So you must keep the relationships. When you want to develop the relationship bond, then international law is very very useful. Next, civil law. Civil law is that part of national law of a country which shows the rights and duties of the citizens of the country. It shows how to live in the country. That is, this is the main thing. How to live in the country in a peaceful manner. If you live, no one is going to object and no one is going to come into your way. But thing is, we don't know how to live in our country. Okay, we won't look after ourselves. We will always concentrate on others. Okay, there is a proverb. First of all, you have to wash yourself. Then you have to think about others. But thing is, we won't wash. Moreover, we will pinpoint, we'll show a finger at others. That is not the criteria. That is not the way. Okay, first of all, you must know how to live. It shows how to live in the country. This law includes the Constitution of India, transfer of properties laws, personal laws, etc. All these things, they become part and parcel of this civil law. Now, criminal law. So you told that there are two laws: criminal civil law and criminal law. You told about civil law, and civil law it will always concentrate how to live in a country. Okay, how to live in a country. Criminal law. Criminal law is that part of national law of a country which shows what is the people, what the people of the country should not do. What the people of the country should not do. Okay. Civil law it gives much importance for how to live. And here the criminal law, what people should not do, that thing it will give emphasis. When you understand these two things, automatically you can be in a position to understand the civil law as well as criminal law. It restricts the citizens of the country from committing a mistake, from committing number of offenses or criminal activities. It imposes capital punishments for the offenders. So this is the main thing that we come across. Now, business law or mercantile law. This is also one and part and parcel of the branch of civil law. It is a branch of civil law of a country which regulates the relationship between mercantile persons and businessmen of the country between between themselves and with other citizens of the country. Yeah, this is the thing. When we go for business laws or mercantile laws, whatever it may be, it keeps the relationship between the businessmen as well as the other citizens. Here within the country, within the country, they always concentrate to develop the relationship between the business people as well as the other citizens in a country. That thing, the business law, the mercantile law, it deals very well. Okay. The law includes the Indian Contract Act, the Sale of Goods Act, the Consumer Protection Act, the Information Technology Act, all these things. This business law. Now, industrial law. What is this industrial law? Industrial law is nothing but the rules and regulations followed by an industry. Okay, one industry it will follow some rules and regulations, and another industry they will follow some rules and regulations. So, whatever it may be, the rules and regulations that one company or one industry it is having, it should be different or it will be different with that of other industries. So, what are the privileges? What are the rules? What are the regulations? All these things we have to learn. That is nothing but industrial law. It is a branch of civil law of a country which regulates the relationship between employees and employers engaged in the industries of the country. The law includes the Factories Act, the Industrial Disputes Act, the Trade Unions Act, etc. Okay, so the industrial law, it won't take into account other industries, not only other industries, but it will take into account the relationship between the employees and employer. Yeah, you may get a doubt that who are employees and who are employers. The persons who are working, they are employees. The the persons who give work, they are the employers. So there should be a good relationship between the employees and employers. Otherwise, the production or the industry, it won't go in a proper way. And here I'm stopping, and again I'm going to continue this.